Welcome to the Sellernomics podcast, where we share valuable tips and information in the Amazon and e-commerce space. Each week, we deliver the best interviews with some of the top Amazon personalities in the industry to help you grow your business. Today's episode is brought to you by Getida, the global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements. Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at Getida.com/Sellernomics. And now, here are your hosts, Rob Stanley and Lisa Kinski.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Sellernomics. My name is Lisa Kinski. I'm joined by my co-host, Rob Stanley. And today we have with us Alina Vlaic with AZ Rank. You've probably seen her at shows and on LinkedIn. She's very well known in the industry, so very excited to have her on with us. And we are going to be talking about how Amazon sellers can actually leverage free content spots on the platform. So let's bring her
like free
on board with us. Alina, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to be here.
So excited to have you on. Yeah, so great to see you. Thank you for joining us. So let's just jump straight into it then. So first of all, let's talk about content for Amazon sellers and brands. Where do they get this content? What do we mean when we say content?
Yeah, that's the magic question. What does content mean nowadays? Well, before like a very short time ago, let's say, when people said content, or like an Amazon brand talked about, I need some content for my product, for my listing, or for my brand, you usually had to go straight to a studio or a graphic designer or a professional to help you do those photos, sending products to the designers, taking shots, and then making all those lifestyles and so on. It worked well. It still does. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't work well. The thing is, maybe because also of the all this craziness with the AI right now, the buyers, the actual consumers, tend to look more into the genuine content, the content that we call user-generated, like me or you having those shorts or reels or just snapshots of whatever and posting them out there on our social media channels. And if we transpose that into a brand or into product, it weighs much more into the buying decision at the end of the day. So basically, we have the professional content, which is still there, and it is still helpful for specific things. But now the UGC, the user-generated content, that's how we call this, genuine lifestyle photos and video taken by real people, which are amateurs, so not professional in any ways, not even influencers, most of them, because influencers tend to go already into the professional zone, more or less. So that user-generated content tends to win more and more space in the industry. So where to get it? You can get it. First of all, you can do it yourself if you're a small brand. Second, you can go to your friends and family. All of us have somebody in our lives that loves to be on the screen. Am I wrong? You don't necessarily need to go to a service or to mini influencers on Instagram or something. You can just ask around. People will be happy to contribute to your success most of the time. So that's the place to start.
Yeah, definitely. I even like to, you don't have to have, although yes, UGC, user-generated content, where there's somebody interacting with your product and you can see the person, is great. But you can even just have your phone or camera set up on a tripod and just have hands interacting with the product, because then you can get an idea of the scale, and people really who are kind of camera shy can avoid that, or
Exactly.
say, being like, oh, you're doing something weird with your face. It's still getting to see more dimensions and usability of the product than a static image. So that's a great place to start too. But when we're talking about this content, I mean, I hear UGC and I think TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Are these pieces of content that you're recommending being used on the listing too? And if so, where would that be used?
Yes, definitely. Now, in the last few shows I've been to, I always ask this question. If I'm talking about content, I always ask these questions. How many people in this audience are using videos to answer your questions on Amazon, which is one of those free, and I love free also, Rob, is still a free place where you can put a lot of content in there. And usually I get 4 maximum hands raised out of a 120 people was the most. So barely anyone is using that. And that's a shame, because like everything on Amazon, they will start charging that sooner than later, probably, because it's exposure. You can answer even questions from 5 years ago. For example, for well-established listings that have hundreds of questions, you can put hundreds of videos on your listing, and that's content. People share those, people watch them, people talk to other people, and it's more, basically it's more real estate for you as a brand. You can never know when and which one of those can actually go viral. It's like the TikTok phenomenon, right? So that would be number one place, which is there, accessible for everybody, and still free. Not to mention how helpful it is for you as a brand to be able to give the potential consumers, the potential buyers of your product, that kind of information. Some people, struggle hard to get a video in front of their clients' eyes. Number two, also on Amazon, there's another section. It's called, now it used to be called related videos. Now it's called videos about your product, or more videos on the product, something like that. They keep changing the name. So I have brands that we work with that never launch a product, and they have like hundreds of products in their brands, never launch a product without at least 3 or 4 videos in that section, because it's like that. It's real estate on your page, and that when you're scrolling down onto the page, people, I don't know, checking the reviews, or trying to decide whether it's a good product for them to purchase or not, they stop at those, because they get into your attention span. So that would be number 2 place. Those are basically the 2 main ones that are right now. And then we can go to Amazon influencers, which is a little bit harder to get, and usually they do their own content, Amazon Live and so on, but those are still there. But these 2 are right in front of our eyes, and people don't use them enough.
Yeah, that question and answer section of a product is always somewhere where I go to, and I so seldom see video posted there. It's
Have
always
you seen
just
one, Lisa?
text.
I don't think I've seen a video and a Q&A. I didn't even know you could do that.
I
was
didn't
like,
either.
Wow, that's great.
I said seldom. I think never would be correct.
I want to go see an example. I mean, Alina, you're going to have to send me an example of somebody who's done one, because I think that's amazing, right? Because there's certain times, I'll give you an example. I used to sell LED tea lights, right? And the tea lights, when you get them, you have to unscrew it, and there's a little plastic piece that keeps the battery from being connected, so that way you're not wasting the battery. We would get all the time people going, it's not working, it's not working. We're like, did you take out the little tab? It wasn't a pull tab. You had to actually unscrew it and take out the tab. A simple video of somebody asking that in a Q&A section and being able to just show a video of how you do it. I mean, think about how many people would either not return them or not have to contact us and say, hey, it's not working. So that's absolutely amazing. And then I'm always a big fan of taking content and putting it in multiple places. So for instance, I like when you've seen me, Alina, at certain shows talking about driving external traffic and things like that. And one of the things I always recommend is almost everybody has a video in their YouTube listing, right? And taking that video and putting it out on Instagram and putting it out on TikTok and YouTube and building a channel around that. I mean, that's so important to do that. But what I want to ask you though is, like when I got started, I just shot all my own content, and it was funny. You guys were talking about hands, because 50 million people see my hands, but nobody knew who I was for many years. But a lot of it, I just shot myself. I just shot it myself. I edited it myself. So kind of what is your feel on, people maybe not have access to a full studio to be able to get really high-end content created? Should they still just make the content and shoot it and with their phone or something like that and some good lighting and just like learn how to do it themselves? Or should they kind of immediately go to a studio type or professional to have it done for them? What's your feel on that?
Well, as I was saying in the beginning, my feel, and apparently the market is going in that direction, is that people go less and less to this kind of studio and professionals. They do them themselves or go to this kind of UGC creators, which is like regular people like three of us here that like to do this kind of stuff. And this is what we've started doing like over a year ago, having regular people buy the product and make videos and make photos, like real, like in their pajamas, if it's something, in their bathrooms, if it's essential oil or something, all kind of stuff, in the woods, if it's a saw, or all kind of products. And other people like to see not a studio person, not a model in the video. Yeah. They like to see, even if it's your hands, they can tell. I mean, you can tell it's not a studio professional done video, but it's somebody that has actually been using it, knows how to do it, and wants to share, right? So definitely go. The whole industry is going in that direction in terms of this content, and there are all kinds of data. There is all kind of data out there saying that, for example, ads, right? Google ads. I had this in one of my presentations last week. A video ad, a Google ad done with a photo this time, not a video. So basic photo. It was for some pillows, and it was a beautiful photo on a white background, professional style. One Google ad for that. And then there was another photo, user-generated content. Some mom took a photo of her child in a bed with those pillows, with a nice decor. So user-generated. Guess which one was
oh yeah, user-generated for sure. Yeah,
obviously.
That's the ones I would look for. Yeah,
exactly. People are looking for that more and more in the ads, on YouTube, on everywhere. Basically, they want to see. And there was a professional opinion about of somebody's, but I'm missing the name right now, saying that 85% of the people of the consumers are most likely to buy a product if they land on a user-generated content page, more compared to regular AI or professional. But again, I'm not saying professional is wrong. Just you have to have professional videos in certain spaces on your Amazon listings, on your channels, but also have this it's you have to find the sweet spot for the mix of these two.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I agree.
Awesome. You guys, we're going to take a quick break and hear a message from our sponsor. We'll be right back talking about maybe some tips and tricks to creating UGC. So we'll be right back.
Did you know that Amazon probably owes you money for FBA reimbursements? Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at Getida.com/Sellernomics.
All right, everybody, head to Getida.com/Sellernomics for your first 400 in FBA reimbursements free. We are back with Alina with AZ Rank. So Alina, what are some, I've seen some UGC, maybe not UGC from like influencers or consumers, but some UGC style videos from brand owners before that are just not up to par, I guess I would say, or
quality.
Yeah, quality. I think especially with like, TikTok becoming so popular, not everybody needs a high production value video anymore. We've become less needful of that since the inception and proliferation of social media. But just like taking a picture of your of your photo, maybe on the carpet. Taking a photo of your product on the carpet against a wall, like, is not going to cut it. So like, what are some of the things that you recommend for dressing up the environment without having to go to that professional studio?
Well, first of all, just be careful at the basics. For example, you were mentioning TikTok. TikTok looks better on vertical photos and videos, right? They open to horizontal recently, but it still looks better on vertical. So if you're going to do some shots or some videos for TikTok, make sure they're vertical versus your Amazon listings or maybe Facebook. You should do horizontal. So that this type of like technical specs are important, just basic. I mean, I'm not talking resolutions and stuff like that. Usually an iPhone or an Android decent phone with an auto camera set up in the right way should do the trick. But the positioning of them, it's important. Also, there are products that can work without a face in the video, and there are products that you work better. I mean, if I'm shooting a video or taking a photo about a face cream, like piece of content, it's kind of needed for my face to be in there, as opposed to, I don't know, a chair. Maybe you can think of something more creative to do with the chair, or with I don't know, some other furniture type of things. So it's basically, what I would say is like common sense. Don't take a photo if you do it yourself or your friends, just in a room or somebody in somebody else's room. It has to be like a nice decor, and the overall theme, let's say, should be around the product. Like, we don't put the phone in the kitchen surrounded by food, stuff like that. I'm just giving stupid examples, trying to get people to understand, like, if we're doing kitchen stuff, let's take the photos in the kitchen. Sometimes you don't need more than that in terms of specification and quality. Now, getting back to quality, usually this type of pieces of content that are, I don't know, if you're making a video of 1 minute, 2 minutes, and this is also, I think, a good tip or trick. You can take that and transform it into 10 or 15 or 20 short form videos, like YouTube Shorts, Facebook Shorts, TikToks, whatever, from one big video. I mean, bigger. There are tools that can do that. I know Canva is one of them, and it's pretty basic to use. There are others that there's one called Easy GIF, I think, takes any video and transforms it into small GIFs that you can use wherever. So Google tests, almost all of them have like free trials, all these tools, and with one video you can basically take like get like 20, 30, 40 pieces of content that you can then share across the board. For that to happen, yes, you need to have like a minimum quality. But as I said, even if you're not using a professional camera, if you're using your phone and the lighting is decent and it's not blurry, it's all fine. So
yeah,
that would be it in terms of technical. But yes, go ahead and those tools. I love playing with them, and they're so much fun. And you cannot believe how much content you can actually do from just one piece, with one person putting face cream on their face. You can get like 20 good shots to place on Instagram.
Yeah, we actually at Getida use a thing called Opus.pro. So if you're watching any of our shorts on social media, we had that done with Opus.pro, thanks to our amazing team behind us that help out with Sellernomics and our other Prime Talk. So yeah, absolutely, Alina. There's lots of good stuff there. Anything that we kind of missed on maybe where you could still use some of that content it looks like you covered like a lot of it, or any other tools and tips that maybe that we skipped over.
So I mentioned briefly the example with the Google Ads. That's important, and that can be also like you can go more than that, and whatever ads you're doing on any platform, user generated ads usually convert a lot better. I would also recommend using user generated content in terms of photos in your inserts for your Amazon or other Shopify or whatever other marketplaces you're using for your product, because it's that personal feeling that people get when they see an actual person in the photo from the insert. So I said ads, I said inserts. On Amazon, I said the two places, and like I said, cross promote it, if you can put it like that, on all your channels. And also blogs. A lot of people use this kind of stuff for blogs, since blogs can be very if the blog is good, professionally written, it has a lot of SEO power in it, so it can get you ranked. I mean, for the brand, I'm saying, get you some authority in the domains on that, and that also helps if you have some social proof and some people actually using your products, instead of taking I don't know, Canva photos or static images.
Yeah. When you're talking about, and this may be a question for a lawyer, but when you're talking about repurposing some of these UGC photos in your product inserts, do you have to get written permission from the person who posted the image to use it in the insert, or is that permission implied when they post it as like a review or a Q&A on the marketplace?
I'm not the person to ask. Okay. I'm not sure, but I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think it depends a lot on what you're doing with it. The way we do it with our service, I mean, the moment the people give us the content, it's ours to use, and the brands to use however and wherever they want. I'm not sure what the laws are, and I think they're different. For example, I'm sure here in Europe it's different than US in terms of what happens if I post the photo, I don't know, like a review. In the reviews, I think Amazon owns them, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm sure they own the reviews. I'm not sure if they also own like the content inside, but I promise I'll look into that and get back to you.
Yeah, we'll post an update in the comments of the video. Just worth asking the question, right? And kind of giving airtime to that, because last thing we want is our sellers getting in trouble for something like that.
When in doubt, check with a lawyer.
Right.
When in doubt, check with a lawyer. Always. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fantastic. Well,
excellent.
Alina, we've covered a lot of the content I think we wanted to discuss today. You had already mentioned, kind of with your service and your products. Can you tell us more about AZ Rank and what you guys do?
Yes. So a lot of people actually know me from AZ Rank, and this thing with content is pretty new, but it's also part of AZ Rank, and we're trying to always come with new stuff on the market. So yeah, we've been there for almost 6 years right now, and as the name says, we're in the ranking industry. And when I say ranking, I say Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, and pretty much any other marketplace you want to get your products higher in the ranks. I know it's a little bit complicated. I mean, it's more complicated right now than it used to be to do it. And when I say this, I'm referring to the white way of doing it, like TOS compliant ways. This subject has always been like a debate. Long story short, we are still in the ranking industry. Things go well. We found some ways of doing things in a compliant way and in a more beneficial way for the sellers. Actually, we have transformed the giveaways into some surveys and some feedback that the seller gets about the listing and about the product. It's a combined method that actually works better than the previous ones before the TOS change. It's funny how life works sometimes. You have to change something and it proves that it's actually for the better. So this is us, and now we're doing this photo. It's called Photo Live, but if you reach out to me, it's pretty much the same thing. With the UGC, we having such a large pool of people in the US. We have some actually very talented people that like to be on camera. So we're using them, and it's quite a few. We're using them to create this kind of content for the brands, and spread the love out there on Amazon, or we even post them on TikTok ourselves for the brand, because I always say you never know when the TikTok video gets viral. So you can actually wake up one morning with your inventory down to zero. So why not do that?
Yeah,
on top
exactly.
of everything else, of course.
And you had mentioned being based in Europe. I know we met briefly at the European Seller Conference, which, yes, they just announced the 2024 dates.
Yes.
Any other shows where folks can hear you speak or maybe connect with you over in Europe in the coming months?
In the upcoming months, I don't have anything in Europe. There's only Danny Macmillan Seller Sessions, but that's just the Christmas social. It's just the party, not the event itself in December.
I know where they can see Alina. Come out with me and Alina on the online seller cruise in January with Carlos Alvarez. Alina will be there. I've been hanging out with Alina for the last couple of years on that online seller cruise. Be sure to go check that out. Absolutely. It's a great one. We get to hang out on a cruise ship for 7 days. Literally what we're just talking about right now happens the entire cruise, except for when we're on shore, is we're just doing nothing but sharing experiences and information and tips and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, you can check that out. That's coming out in January, onlinesellercruise.com, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Or reach out to me or Alina and we can make sure we get you, I'm sure some sort of code or link to that. So yeah. That's awesome. For sure.
Fantastic.
All right, Alina. I want to just end kind of with a quick question for you.
Sure.
So quick tip. Somebody's been selling online for about 6 months and they're just kind of getting things going. What would be the number one bit of advice you would give somebody who's just been selling for about 6 months?
Number one piece of advice. So the things are good, right? Everything's going in the right direction. Things are good.
What should they be checking? How about that? What should they be checking if they've been selling for 6 months? There's something they should check over, and maybe looking at free content they need to put up. What can they do to kind of just see about moving forward more?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to narrow down because there's like so many scenarios in my head.
Throw one out there.
Yeah. So what we've talked today, like the content is actually more important than it may sound. And guys, it's free. So just put it there, even if you do it yourself. That would be something to definitely look at. If you have more than one product in your brand, and this is not your first product on Amazon, I would definitely do some virtual bundles that also help you get some more real estate on Amazon. And I'm guessing this seller is checking rank and doing PPC and everything is good on that side. But I have something. Product Opportunity Explorer is the place that I find the most important now, like October, it's October actually, 2023, to look at when you want to see where you are in your niche. Is data from Amazon. It's not the search query report, which is for your product, but it's the opportunity explorer, the opportunities that Amazon sees for that niche. For example, when we're doing ranking campaigns for our clients, or where we're trying to build a strategy, that's one of the top 3 places we're looking at, because it's actually what Amazon sees and what Amazon wants. You're going to have 20 to 25 keywords in there. And if you're not ranked on those, you don't exist in that niche. If you want to like be on top, not page 25.
Excellent.
If you do all that, you should be very good in the next 6 months.
That's great. No, that's great advice.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Alina. And where can folks learn more about AZ Rank if they're interested to work with you guys or just want to reach out to you directly?
Well, my name, which is on the screen, is the name I have on all platforms, social medias like Facebook, Instagram, and I usually get back to people pretty fast. And if not, if it's easier, just on the website, azrank.com. Thank you. Yeah, it's on the screen. And there's my email. And you can just reach out. You don't have to get any of the services. Just if you want to share experience or anything else, I'm happy to chat with people.
Fantastic. And for our audio listeners, the website is azrank.com. And Alina's email is Alina, ALINA, @azrank.com. Perfect. Alina, thank you so much for your time today, dear. Really appreciate you sharing your expertise with us and learning about free places to put content on Amazon, which I did not know existed until 20 minutes ago.
That's awesome.
Happy to share this info with you guys and your listeners and watchers. And it's with Amazon, it just never ends. You always find out stuff.
Something's always changing. Absolutely true.
Exactly.
Well, Alina, thank you for being here. And thank you so much for everybody who tuned in today. If you guys liked what you heard, please be sure to give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts with us in the comments, subscribe to the show, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Sellernomics podcast. Special thanks to our sponsor, Getida. Did you know that Amazon probably owes you money for FBA reimbursements? Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at Getida.com/Sellernomics. Be sure to join us again next week for more great tips on how to grow your business. And thanks again for listening.